right. All fucking right. So, I'm just gonna take a breather on this one. Just a quick breather. This, I usually record the same day every single week. And like, you guys know, I plan things out every single day to the T. Like, every 30 minutes, everything is planned. And so this recording was based on my mood. And like, okay, let's take a step back here. I have sniffles because I probably was very emotional. No, because I ain't no bitch. It was a sensitive thing that I was like, should I even post this? Should I not? Or should I even talk about this? Or should I even not? So here we are. I am going to let this out. So I had the sniffles, not because I like have allergies this time, but it was just like it's a sensitive subject. Okay. And there goes the chair. Okay, so I kind of wanted to take a spin on this and just like kind of just turn the wheel the other way, and kind of do this episode differently. I know every single time it's always like shits and giggles and like happy stuff. I'm always so bubbly and fucking weird, and you're just gonna hear me burp and all, the usual bougie and basic stuff that I do that I have been doing since April. That's usually what it is. But I wanted you guys to get the other side of me. I know I'm very quirky. I'm very like weird, as you guys know from the videos and just by listening to the pod. I am a bit crazy because I'm a female, duh. I talk about sex a lot. I do a lot of sex innuendos and like jokes and everything. And I feel like I'm fun. I feel like I'm sometimes a fucking comedian with all the shit that I say. And like my personality, it's just very extroverted. And that's like me most of the time. But what human fucking being is like that all the time, right? So, okay, we're just gonna just stick a tissue like up my nose, okay. So, quarantine. It started for me end of February, right? Because as you guys know that I have been quarantined since then because of the event that I went to, and they made everyone stay home. Okay, yada yada yada. If you didn't know that, go back to the other episodes, because shame on you. And then so that happened, and I went through a breakup back in November, beginning in November, and I think having that breakup and going through quarantine has changed the fuck out of me, right? And like I said, I was a very extroverted person, and like I still am, and I'm always out and about, but of course with the circumstances going on today, it kind of just changed me. I mean, I am still true to myself, don't get me wrong, but my views have changed. A lot of things have changed since then. So I am used, I'm a very like loving and caring person, generous, a true Cancer, and that's just like me. But I think lately I have just been, because of everything and all the circumstances I told you about, I have grown to have, and when I'm in sales, I haven't grown or have like, what the hell is that verb? Well, I have, fuck, I can't even think of the verb. Okay, well, I have, it's like a chameleon when it changes. Okay, well, basically, I have changed. Not fully, I still have me and me. I have been a lot more tougher than I have been, I don't even know how long. I'm usually like super sensitive and everything, but I think with everything going on, I have grown this thick skin of tough exterior that it's like I almost have a black heart, which is really sad, which is really scary if you think about it. Maybe I should edit that out because that's like really bad to say. But I usually have a really big heart, honestly. And it was just like funny, like for like example, like we had talked about Mr. Feeney before in the previous episode, and he was just like I miss you, blah blah, and I was like, oh, what the fuck? You can't miss me, and just like little stuff like that. And he was like, you can still miss a person even though you've just seen them, and I'm just like, and like old me would be like, oh my god, I miss you more, but I just feel like everything has, my views have changed within just like the past couple of months. I don't know if it was, I don't want to blame it on quarantine, I don't want to blame it on the breakup, but my views are like shifting, my like, not personality, you can I guess say personality has been kind of shifting. And then there was one other time I had a first date, and like it's so funny, we laugh about this now, and like because you really cannot call girls bitches, or men cannot call girls bitches. Like, let's be real, like if you call a girl bitch, you're the fucking bitch. I am so sorry. Like that's really inappropriate. And so I remember I was on a first date, and then I got dared or something. I forgot what it was. I was pretty drunk by then, and he like dared me to do something, and I was like, yeah, I can do it. I ain't no bitch. And then every single time now that like I do something or whatever, I'm always like, I ain't no bitch. Like we went on multiple dates, and we always joke around that now. And then he's always like, don't be a bitch about it. And I don't take that seriously, because it's just like, it's totally like our inside joke, and it's not like he's calling me a bitch, but it's just like, you catch my drift. It's so funny that we say that now, because any other girl, if a dude said that to a girl, she'd probably be like, oh my god, why'd you call me a bitch? And I'm just like, yeah, you know, fucking bitch, I'm gonna fucking do what the fuck you just dared me to, okay? And I also think, because I have a bunch of guy friends, so mostly guys, that like, you are basically one of the men. And like, if they're like, say for instance, taking a shot, and I don't want to drink anymore, but then they're like, don't be a little bitch about it, and I'm like, alright, I'm not gonna be a fucking bitch about it. And so I think that has molded me, and having this thick skin, just like all those things are just like making me, I have like this extra layer. It's like I'm a snake or something, and I have this extra skin on me. So even that, or just like, even just, my mom was a single mom for a while, and and she was the main breadwinner, and she basically raised me and my sister. And every single time that like I went through a breakup or anything happened to me, she had always taught me to just like don't let it bother you, like be fucking tough, like you're gonna let that bother you. And I remember her saying this, it was like a while ago. She said something like, if you're gonna be stupid, you have to be tough. And I was like, what? And I was like, oh, I got it. So all that stuff had just like accumulated everything. So after my breakup, I wanted to make sure no one broke me again. I was almost at my lowest point, and there's a breakup episode that's going to be coming up in the near future, where we're going to talk about how a female deals with a breakup and how a male deals with a breakup. But I wanted to make sure I never got to that point. I was so weak, you guys, that I will admit I was a little bitch. I did not. Well, I'll go into this later on in the next episode, but I was at my lowest, one of my lowest points, and I never wanted to go back to that. I never wanted to let anything ever break me ever again, because if I did, whoa, what happened to my voice there? I'm just so passionate about it. If I let something break me like that again, that would be my fault. So that is why I feel like I have this tough skin on me. And it's just like so funny, because like, even when I'm like working out and like I'm in public, I've had like 2 or 3 people or 3 guys say like, you should smile more. And I'm like, bitch, I am huffing and puffing right now. Like, I'm about to pass out because I am just like working out. Like, do I look that unapproachable? Like, I feel like I'm a real friendly person. But, so like little stuff like that. Oh God, excuse me. So, yeah, after the breakup, my mind switched like tremendously. Like, I became more focused on work. Like, I became, one of the top performers at work. Of course, I am very competitive, like super competitive, even if it's like the most stupidest thing, like, I'll race you on whoever goes pee faster, like shit like that. Like, I always want to be number one. And so creating the podcast with Renee, like, it was such a huge achievement because like it was on my list of goals that I wanted to do. It was in my notebook sitting there waiting to be crossed off for like the longest time. And now here I am and doing it solo. And I'm learning new things. I am taking classes on like podcast stuff, on editing stuff, because a bitch does not have hella money to hire people to do it. So yeah, I will have to do it on top of my regular work. And then I have not mentioned this on my podcast IG, but I do paint. So I spend a lot of time on that. And then I also put tons and tons of time. Well, not tons of time, but I make sure that I work out every single day, mostly twice a day. So I became super obsessive with those 4 things. And I wanted to make sure that I stayed on track and that nothing would ever come between me and like, I'm just gonna blow my nose, okay? Oh, God. Oh my God, I swear like every episode you guys like can hear my nose. I'm just like so nasally right now because of this. I wasn't crying or anything because I ain't no bitch, guys, right? So yeah, so I became hyper focused on that. I became very obsessive that it was very tunnel vision for me. And with doing that, my circle got so much smaller. I'm not gonna lie, guys. Like, I didn't want to have unnecessary energy, especially negative energy, coming into my life where it might disrupt me on my way to success and on my way to being successful in work, in the podcast, in painting, and working out. Like, if it didn't benefit me, I'm so sorry. Like, I had to cut a lot of people off. It's because it was draining, Like, I wanted to surround myself with people that I would see in my future. And then, like, I think I listened to this podcast saying that the 5 people that you surround yourself with are those people that are going to help you get to your future. And I was like, I can name those 5 people, And so, and I also wanted to use my time wisely. I still continue to have 18-hour days. And when people are like, oh, why don't you hang out with me and all that stuff, and I have to turn them down because I am focused on my goals, and I just don't have time for things that won't benefit me. And I'm so sorry if that sounds very selfish, but I want to get to a place where I am very happy and proud of what I've done when it comes to work, with the podcast, with painting, and with working out and getting the body that I want. And I don't have that much time. Like, I have 24 hours of the day and I am busy 18 hours of it. And if I squeeze in an hour for you, I need to benefit within that hour, And there's a lot of people that don't understand that. They're mostly like, oh, you just don't want to hang out. You just don't want to do this. And it's just like, for once, after 32 years of living, I am going to think of myself. And that does sound selfish, but I have used my time in other ways that I wish I got that time back. I honestly regret spending time with people that I didn't benefit from. So as bad as that sounds, I'm so sorry, but now I am trying to use my time more wisely. And so dating wasn't a priority to me anymore. I mean, like, who honestly wants to date someone with an 18-hour day? Honestly. But I did post on my question and answer thing, like, oh, you're always so busy. How would you make time for anyone? And my exes always had issues with, like, me working so much. And so it is a struggle. I was not trying to get hurt again. I told you, if anyone broke me like that again, I would be devastated because I would blame myself. Like, it fucked me up so bad that it made me question myself. So I was like, never fucking again. So yeah. So, and then, yeah, the whole dating thing kind of just, like, was not into it for a while. And so the podcast issue came up, and I was honestly really scared that, like, people were gonna, like, not support me as much. I think a lot of the followers and fan base, you know, like, I guess I won't say it was 50-50 me and Renee. Well, I mean it could have been. I didn't do, like, the data, but I mean, like, maybe there were some people that loved Renee more than me. And, like, what if they didn't want to listen, like, to just me? Like, do you hear my voice? It's so annoying. So I remember it clearly. I didn't know what to do that day. I literally broke down in tears because I felt like my dreams were crushed. And I know in the Plan B episode, you know, I kind of just, like, sifted through it, kind of brushed up on it, but it did break my heart. And it kind of felt like I went through a breakup, and I kind of felt like I let this happen to me, and I went through it. I'm not gonna fucking lie. I cried. I was very lost, and that exact night, I was probably wasted. Yeah, I was. Had a few extra margaritas, and I ended up calling Frankenstein, which you guys have met, or that you guys have heard of in the previous episode. And he saw me at my lowest moment. No lie, guys. Like, one, I was so trashed, but he was there with open ears. Open arms? Open ears. Open arms. No. Yeah. Well, okay. Either or, he has really nice ears. Those are my favorite things about him. Not because he just listens to me, but and he is in the entertainment business as well. And, like, for me to even show that side to someone, to show how vulnerable I was, because, and especially to him, because he was the one where I was like, I ain't no bitch, and here I am fucking crying on his fucking shoulder. Like, I was like, fuck. In his head, he's probably like, sometimes you're like a little bitch. But no, he was awesome. And I told you guys, like, he is the, like, 91.452% why I'm here. Because that motivational talk that same day that I found out that I was, like, I didn't know what to do with the pod, like, that was when I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this based off that conversation. And then I went home, did a pros and cons list, because duh, it's me. I knew that I wanted to do this podcast because not only that I like to entertain you guys, but it also mentally, and it's like so fun for me. And it's just like, even just like, especially this episode that you guys can just like really see what's going on, it really helps me out. So I go through certain things, like, people go through certain things for a reason, and you meet certain people for a fucking reason. And I have really learned this year that, like, literally everything happens for a reason. Like, it's not just cause. It's because, like, certain things happen to direct you to another path, and then to another path, and another fucking path. Like, it may suck. The situation may suck. But there are other things that are meant for you. So after that, I again had a new lens in life. Went through that minor speed bump. And I went hard. I went fucking hard. I was like, you should have seen my apartment. Okay, so obviously I couldn't quit my job. Excuse me. So I had my workstation here, which is like my computer, my laptop, and then on the floor I would have my whiteboard, and it would have a whole everything of the podcast of what I wanted to do, who I would interview, every single outline. Then in the other corner, I would have all my painting stuff. Like, my place looked like a mad house. Like, I just like wanted to just like keep going, and just stay focused. Like, more focused than I thought I was before. I was like focused on steroids. So, well, that was intense. So let's talk about my paintings. I have not mentioned this on my podcast but I did mention it on my personal page, which I did release a painting to the public. And I honestly, I have about 30 to, I want to say 40 paintings that I've done within the past few years, 2 years maybe. And I haven't shown much of them because everyone fucking calls me crazy for this. I don't care what you think. But I just don't feel confident enough to show people. And then just like even having people over and it's exposed in my apartment, it makes me nervous. So I was not confident at all. So until this kind of woke me up. I went to San Diego not too long ago, got lost, had to reroute, and so ended up parking and just walking down this little cute street. And it had this sign. I saw the sign. I will post this. It said like, I'm powerful, I'm confident, and everything. And that whole street, no lie, guys, was an art gallery. An art fucking gallery. That's let me just say it, an art gallery. Okay. If that's not a sign, I don't know what is, babies. Like, so yeah. So here I am. I was feeling some type of way today. I wasn't even supposed to be recording tonight, and here I am. And I just was in this mood, and I had to call up Frankenstein, who is also one. Let me just tell you, I didn't call just so he could make me laugh and just make me feel better, because he is the most funniest comedian. Not only that, but he's the 6th overall in San Francisco International Comedy. He literally participated in the SF International Comedy Competition out of 32 people in the fucking world and placed 6th. By the way, fun fact for you. But he's doing the right things, and his mentality, and he's constantly motivating me. And again, this is why I'm here. You know, I don't want to give all the credit to him because, yeah, it's obviously because me do. But he knows ideally what I want to do. Like, if I could just, like, paint and do the pod for a living, like, that would be the freaking dream. You know? And he told me that things take time. And because I am a very impatient person, I want results right away. And so he asked me, he was just like, when did you have that feeling when you were at least a little bit confident enough, like, okay, let's shift gears and say maybe these paintings aren't kind of good enough, and maybe it's okay to sell them. And then I was like, when I posted that on Instagram, I was like, wow, the amount of feedback that I got, I mean, I already have a list of people that want to buy from me, but the amount of support and offers was insane. And I honestly didn't think those were my best paintings. So imagine if they saw my best paintings. And so again, I just like wasn't confident enough. Like, you know, like you guys find me as this quirky, loud, confident girl and like motivating. But if I was that confident, don't you think all 40 of my paintings would be sold by now? You know? And he had mentioned that he thinks I am this powerful little 4'11" girl. And he thinks I'm probably crazy for not noticing how powerful I am. And it is lack of confidence. I don't feel right having people have my paintings in their house looking at it every single day. Oh, sorry, I should probably put that on mute. But yeah, to wake up and look at my painting every day, that still feels kind of strange to me. So I think once I get to that level, knowing how powerful I am, because he was like, there will always be people in the market. There are people that will pay $500 for it. There are people that will pay like a couple thousand for it. But at the end of the day, there will always be a market. And I was like, wow, that is actually true. And I really hate admitting when like people are right. It really bothers me. But I will give credit when it's due. But he was right. I am powerful. So the past week, okay, so I usually do a painting, I want to say like one every 2 weeks because I'm so busy and I just like have a lot to do and I only sleep 4 to 5 hours. But the past week, for some odd reason, I was sleeping 2 hours. And I did 3 paintings in 1 week. 3 fucking paintings. And each painting can range from either 8 hours to 24 hours, depending on detail, depending on size. And I loved it, guys. I literally loved it as much as I love talking to you guys on this pod. And the lack of sleep that I got, I don't care. I literally loved every single brush stroke that I just put on that canvas. I loved it. So I basically learned that you really have to just make small sacrifices to help you in the long run, you know? And again, like baby steps are still small steps. But at the end of the day, stuff like that, you know, I am not always what you guys see on the pod, on my Instagram. Like, I go through normal stuff just like everyone else. Like, this quarantine has tested me so hard, guys. Like, again, like I mentioned during the quarantine episode, like, there's only a handful of people I know that live on their own. And, like, people are, like, complaining, like, they're annoyed of their roommates, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, I want to be annoyed of their roommates. Like, I want to homeschool kids. Like, that sounds fun. So, like, it's crazy. Like, my mind has shifted. My views have shifted. Like, everything has changed. But in a good way, I think. Like, I am learning so much about myself. And I'm learning to look at the glass half full. Like, I feel like I'm always hard on myself. I push myself to the extreme every single day because I know what I'm capable of. But then again, I always have to realize I'm only human. A hungry one at that. So that's why I work so hard. I don't sleep because I am always just like, I'll sleep when I'm dead. There's just so much shit to do. But I just wanted to give you guys a taste of this Reeler. Reeler sounds weird. It sounds like Ferris Bueller. Okay, that's weird. But I wanted to give you guys a taste of this side of me. Like, I am so happy that I post all this funny stuff and motivating stuff. Like, that literally makes me so happy that my stuff can impact you in a positive way. Because the way that Frankenstein motivates me and influences me, I transfer that on to you guys, and I get these messages, these DMs, these texts that they were like, without you, then I wouldn't have done this. Or like, because of you, I had a good day. So it's kind of like a chain reaction. Like, I receive the positivity from Frankenstein or from anyone else, and then I transfer that on to you guys. And that makes everything worth it, honestly. So, that one was a rough one. That one was a good one, I feel. But I feel like you guys really need to know the realer. See, can someone look that up and say realer? More real. The more real side of me. Because, again, at the end of the day, Clarice Chrysostimo. Oh, now you guys know my government name. Yeah, see, I cannot talk. I also literally, oh god, you guys would be so proud of me. I went to the dentist today, which is like my worst fear ever. Well, I also had to take some relaxers, and so I haven't eaten all day, and I have just been like super freaking like acting like a little bitch all day. But we're back at it. We are back at it. I am hungry. Like, for some pizza. Yeah, that too. But I'm so motivated. And I hope this episode, I know it's probably not as exciting as talking about anal and dildos and freaking whatever like we usually do. I really hope you guys get something out of this. Because you guys are capable of doing anything. This is getting really freaking sentimental and corny. But I really believe in you guys, because I had someone believe in me, and I thought I couldn't do shit, and here I am. Like, I'm looking at the glass half full, guys, and I'm always gonna look at it half full. But it's okay to have those days where you doubt yourself, because, again, you're human. Alright, guys, we are going to be back on a regularly scheduled program talking about some dicks. Next episode, just kidding. I actually don't even know what the next episode is. I haven't thought that far ahead, which is really bad. But yeah, I really care for you guys. Thank you guys for always listening to me, no matter what the topic is, no matter what I go through. You guys are the tits. Pat yourself on the back for listening to me. Alright, you guys, I'll see you there, or I'll see you at another time.